started when an alien device did what it did. It stuck itself upon his wrist with secrets that it hid. Now I've got superpowers, I'm no ordinary kid, I'm Noah Stories. Let me tell you a story in a way that you can understand, with a beginning, a middle, and an end. We'll start in the middle. Ever since I first laid eyes on Ben 10, I've always wanted Omnitrix, in any way, shape, or form. I tried buying the toy version a few times, but I could never find it. So, I ended up making my own. Twice. They probably looked much cooler in my head, but I was pretty happy with the result, since I finally had my own Omnitrix. The first one was based on the original series design. It was made out of a matchbox with a little hole on the top, so that I could open it up and put pictures of aliens inside that I could then cycle through. Then I would put a paper strand on it to bind it to my wrist. The second one was based on the Alien Force version, the recalibrated Omnitrix. It was a paper version that had these alien cutouts on top from Ben 10 Alien Makers, a site that marketed itself as create your own aliens, but in reality was just a bunch of fusions based on pre-established designs. I printed out these aliens, cut the silhouettes, and attached them with some tape to create an Omnitrix where I could cycle through the transformations like pages in a book. It really helped that the recalibrated version had this hologram instead of this drawing version, so I could put a lot of them there. This version was so popular on the playground that a few other kids wanted it too, so I made some copies and sold them for €1. I know, a fortune. Suckers. Fun fact, while making the first Omnitrix with my dad, the Matchbox one, we were looking for pictures of different aliens to put inside when we stumbled on this Wikipedia article of Ben 10 Alien Force. And my immediate reaction was, what the hell is this? This isn't my Ben 10. Little did I know that just a few months later, I would be attending a special premiere for the sequel show. It was just the first 2 or 3 episodes put together, with a few actors showing up at the beginning to make some fight scenes and make it entertaining. They gave us some cardboard masks of some aliens like Swampfire and Jet Ray, and a few other souvenirs. It was an interesting experience. When my friends and I saw how the Omnitrix recalibrated on that screen, we were flabbergasted. It was so hype, and it just continued as we saw the new aliens like Swampfire and Humongosaur. But the moment we saw them, the gears in our heads began to turn. We had this theory of the new alien roster being combinations of the previous 20-something aliens that Ben had in the original series. Like obviously, Swampfire was a mix of Wildvine and Heat Blast, while Echo Echo was Blitzwolfer and Ditto, and Jet Ray was Accelerate and Stinkfly. Not all of these ended up having their respective pairs, but oh well, it was a good theory. Then, when the 3rd episode hit our screens and we saw Alan, a new theory emerged. We started to assume that Max had somehow taken the DNA from the original Omnitrix and was giving it around to different people to make the new promo recruits. We loved our theory so much that I sometimes invited my friends over to host watch parties. Although these were mainly for big events like the Season 3 premiere where Vilgax returned for one final showdown against Ben, or the Alien Force finale where Vilgax returned for one final...
That's enough. I tire of your ramblings. Will you get to the point already?
Oh, don't rush him, Bellicus.
Fine. The point is, even though at first I was harsh on Alien Force, saying something like, what the hell is this? This isn't my Ben 10. I ended up accepting this version of the show and even rather enjoying it. Even if I do prefer Classic's character dynamics and self-contained episodes and alien designs, or Omniverse's more strange stories and colorful art style. Look, I've always been a Ben 10 fan, and I always will be. The franchise has brought me a lot of joy over the years, but one moment that made me snap, that really left me devastated, was when I found out about the reboot. I was so excited to see the adventure continue, to see them go off into space to explore the universe they had just created, that I'd heard seeing the team go off in a different direction with the reboot. But it was the alien redesigns that delivered the final blow. The moment I saw the purple upgrade, I was hurt. But when I saw the new Stinkfly, it left me in tears. I know that many people don't like the Omniverse art style, but it at least carries the essence of Ben 10. But what the hell is this? They took Stinkfly, this very unique alien in the Ben 10 roster, and got rid of his main feature, the bugginess, leaving him as just another humanoid alien like all the rest. And they did the same thing to Wildvine. It hurt me so much. And Stinkfly is not necessarily my favorite alien either, but his design was so unique for it to be reduced to this. My boy. Look how they massacred my boy. They could have just called him a different name and I would have been fine with it. But they had to use a recognizable name that already existed in the roster. They just had to do it this way. So, I move that the Ben 10 reboot be removed from history.
Motion denied.
Objection! On what grounds?
On the grounds that you are being a little bitch.
Just because you don't enjoy the series doesn't mean that it should cease to exist. After all, the reboot has acquired its own following over the years.
Fine. I'll admit that the reboot has some cool moments and ideas. The specials are alright, and I like Humongousaur's new tail. And the fact that Ben upgraded his own Omnitrix with the upgrade was also pretty cool. I just wish that animated series were taken more seriously by networks. I understand they're focusing mostly on younger kids, but as a fan of serialized animation, I wish they'd stop dumbing stuff down, cutting down runtime of shows and focus on some more serious topics. Animation is not just for kids. Just look at Gravity Falls or The Owl House. Shows aimed at kids for sure, but maintaining some more mature ideas and undertones that make it an enjoyable experience for everyone. Could you at least make it so we get a new, somewhat serious Ben 10 series?
Even Alien X isn't that powerful.
Then can you at least return me to my human form so I can play with my new Omnitrix?
I don't see why not.
Absolutely not.
What? Why?
You Omnitrix users are all the same. Just using Alien X to satisfy your own personal wants and desires.
Come on, Bellicus. He can't stay with us forever. He has a life to return to.
Fine. But his viewers better leave a like on this video and watch the following one over there.
Seems fair to me. It's a pretty good video.
Maybe they can also subscribe. That's always nice.
Don't be silly. Why would they subscribe? Most of them have left the video by now.
Bellicus, why must you always assume the worst of people? Maybe they just checked out one of Noah's other amazing videos.
What are the chances of that?
We can table the discussion on—
Shut up! The video's over.